Simmons produced.
Yo, what's good with it, people? It's your boy Simmons.
It's your boy Dane.
And it's Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
Bang, 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 bang.
I don't know if y'all people, my man's kind of sick over here. He sound a little nasally.
Yeah, but that's that. I've been going through it.
The light corona. But hold on. Before we get into all that,
yeah.
I know we've been gone for a minute.
Well, a minute.
It's been a cool little minute. We took a break.
Yeah.
He had a lot of school stuff to handle. I had my own stuff to handle as far as business and stuff.
Yeah.
And we back to action. A lot has happened since the last episode.
Yeah.
The last episode was received very well as far as the mental health. And we plan on having Patrice back on. Shout out to Patrice.
Most definitely.
You know?
Yeah, I think by far that might have been my favorite episode.
Definitely.
That we did.
Definitely.
We're going to have some more people on this season.
Of course, people of substance have something to add.
Substance,
like,
not just.
We ain't trying to have homies on here talking about some hood shit.
Yeah.
It's like we trying to feed the people mentally, you know. But my man's over here is about to die. Like I thought he had a corona or something.
I had that new flu. I had it. This is the first time in a long time because I don't get sick.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time in a long time. I think the last time I really was like out for the count was 13.
Damn.
Right?
That's a cool minute.
You know what I mean? And this flu, it took your boy out because I normally don't even miss work. Like right now, if you can hear my voice is a little bit chasing my allergies, right?
Yeah.
I went to work. Well, you feel exactly the same. You just know that you can't breathe the same, all of that. But this one, oh man. I'm talking about the flu was so bad, like your hair hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm cool.
It was bad. I had 103 fever for 3 days. Still had to write 2 papers. Getting hot flashes, cold chills, all of that. Went through it, man. I lost weight. That's the only good thing.
That'd be the only good thing about getting sick is losing weight.
Yeah, I lost, man. And then because I was down for about 2 weeks, so I didn't have an appetite for like a good 2 weeks, right? Yeah. So I lost weight doing that. Then when I went back, I was like, I'm not gonna eat the same way.
That's why I always say that you fuck around, start eating.
No, I didn't. I really didn't.
But you still ain't over it completely. Yeah. But watch.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm legitly down almost. I want to say about 5-6 pounds. So that's why I got this little shirt on because I can fit it again.
You feel buff today.
You know what I'm saying? So
in shape today.
But on the real, the coronavirus.
Yeah, that shit right there.
It's a serious deal because it's actually starting to hurt economies.
Yeah, I seen theories and I'm kind of like feeling the theory too.
I think it's a biological weapon. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
That's the theory because it's like if you look at the China population, like it seemed like they was trying to like the whole government situation. I'm like,
listen.
It seemed like they was trying to do some population control.
Population control. That's what it looked like to me. I seen white people. I love white people. They're different. They're fearless.
Oh yeah, they'll investigate some shit.
They will investigate some shit. I remember when when the Afghanistan war popped off after 9/11. Mm-hmm. You had fools like after the U.S. blew up some stuff was standing there like. The bomb just went off. I don't know how they do it. So I'm watching. I'm looking at this little short documentary or whatever about the coronavirus, and this it's a white dude and his wife. They're in Shanghai, and they're talking about how Shanghai is like one of the most booming cities in China. And they're in this restaurant. They're like, this is a famous restaurant, and this restaurant is empty. And so dude is talking, he has his mask on, and so then the waiter comes, he's like, here's some complimentary hand sanitizer, and this, that, and the third that they handing out because of the coronavirus, right? Yeah. This dude, the next time they put the camera on dude got his mask off and ordering food.
Yeah, that's like the
You know what I'm saying? Like, Come on, man.
Chasing the tornadoes.
Yeah.
It was like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like, you never gonna see no black folks chasing tornadoes ever.
But I put it to you like this: the information that they get for putting their lives on the line,
they get it.
Priceless.
Yeah, they get it. But it's like, bro,
I'm not doing it.
Out there.
I'm not doing it.
I mean, you gotta respect them. They fearless. Those are the white people you gotta love. Like,
hey,
somebody gotta do it.
They'll be like, oh, you got a problem? I'll go over there and say it. I'm like, nah, bro. But then, so you need investigative journalists. Yeah. So those people are built different. But I think that the coronavirus, honestly, is something that has been weaponized. I don't know if
it's almost like anthrax.
It's almost like anthrax,
right.
But a conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
In China, I don't know all the details, but I hear that they're treating Muslims very bad, right? They're putting them in these camps or whatever. And I'm just going off of historic value, right? Yeah. And in history, there has always been someone oppressing another person, right? And in the mix of oppressing other people, they like to experiment. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is strictly conspiracy theory. I ain't found this nowhere. No. This is what I'm thinking happened, right? So, but if it's right, then y'all know I said it, right here, 2020. I feel like they might have been like, let's see what this biological weapon could do to these people, and they didn't know that they made it where it was one of those extremely contagious, airborne type of deals, because it's amazing how they have one of the biggest laboratories in that city, and they have not been able to find a way to contain it.
Like, as soon as we start hearing about it, all of a sudden we hear it's in America, and we hear it's in UK, London.
Yeah. I mean, when I
just took off.
When I went to the doctor, the lady asked me straight up. She said, "Have you been to China?" I said, "No, I ain't been to China." She said, "Oh, okay, then it's the flu." Yeah. She was like, we gotta be there's precautions that we have to go through.
It kind of sucked though, because like I've been seeing like people, like, as far as America go, and looking at Chinese folks and anybody of Asian descent sideways.
You have to understand, this is America, where we are the home of discrimination.
Pretty much.
We will find any reason to be like.
You remember what happened after 9/11?
Come on, I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna tell y'all a real life story. And some people that live in the valley might remember this. When 9/11 happened, I was living in the valley, right? Mm-hmm. It was an Indian man. Yeah. Not Muslim. Mm-hmm. Indian man wearing a turban. Yeah. Right. That owned this gas station, kind of a little ways from the house, and we used to go there on the way to school. Moms used to go there in the morning, right? Yeah. So we were familiar with him. We didn't know him, but we were familiar with him. After 9/11 happened, it was the valley at that time. I don't know what it's like now because I ain't been there 20 some years. Yeah. But the valley at that time was like predominantly white. Yeah. Like we were like one of 5 black families that was there, right? And as soon as it happened, some white supremacists.
I'm up in the camera.
Yeah,
I'm trying to fix the joint.
A bunch of white supremacists went to the liquor store and beat the brakes off. He's Indian. He wasn't even. You understand what I'm saying? They beat the brakes off him to the point where he got his ass whooped so bad that the next day he sold the thing. He was like, whoever wants the gas station can have the gas station. So the point that I'm making is, in America, you have people who are on go to discriminate against you. So when they talked about, discrimination against the Asian community has risen, I wasn't surprised, because we have people in this country. This country breeds discrimination, and I don't care if you're black, white, brown, whatever.
Yeah. Real talk.
It has infected all of us to have some type of discriminatory thoughts towards people. So.
It's just like,
But I be seeing them. I be at work and them cats be having the mask on. I'm like, are you protecting yourself or you got something? Yeah. You need to. They need to change the color. Like if it's blue, you protecting yourself. If it's
I just be looking like you don't know, because I'm like, it's not just. I be looking at them like it's not just Asians catching it. So I'm like, number one. No. So people gotta stop being that fucking.
Well,
ignorant.
the thing is, the reason why they're thinking that it's the Asians is the original.
No, I understand that part.
Yeah.
But I'm like. Let's not be stupid. Like, but do your homework.
Yeah, but to put facts out there, they don't know the origin of the coronavirus. So it has not been confirmed that they were eating they're eating bat soup and some more shit. Yeah. But it didn't come from them eating bats and snakes. They said that they really don't know the origin of where the coronavirus came from, which makes me believe that it's a biological weapon, or it was something that they were testing that went drastically wrong. This should remind me of Resident Evil.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
You know what I mean? So
it's like on a different level, but
yeah.
Or like I Am Legend.
Yeah.
And when he was the cure and all that. Like it's crazy.
One of those things. But if the zombies pop off, I don't watch enough Walking Dead, World War Z, and all the other zombie movies to survive. You know what I'm saying? So
we almost in the apocalypse. Like people just want to fuck up instead of just. I don't know. I'm getting sick and tired of all governments. To be honest, I'm just. Yeah. Like people just trying to fight for control of power and then doing stupid shit for their agenda. It's just like
and the crazy thing about it is I believe that social media has made us more aware. Yeah. Because these
before we was subjected to whatever they told us. Exactly. We had to just go with that.
Exactly. Well, you got to understand too. Like you know that my girl. She's American, but her father is Middle Eastern, right? So she goes back and forth between here and Egypt and all of that stuff. So she's previewed, or if that's the right word, to privy to information that we don't get inside of our borders, right? So she'll share things with me from over there about information that they're talking about over here, and it doesn't add up. Right, she says even like the CNN, international CNN, talks in more detail about the things that are going on over here than what our news gives. Right, so she's like, a lot of times they'll give more information, and the information that she gets back, she's like, they're not talking about this here on the news. You understand what I'm saying?
Makes sense because the thing is, like they're from the outside looking in, so. They have nothing to lose because they have no ties to over there, over here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like we about to give y'all all the fucking teeth.
Yeah, and that's the point that I was making. That's if you guys go back to the episode where after I had came back from Mexico, right, and I was like, it's not enough black people in Mexico for Mexicans to have a problem with black people. But
that's a lot to do with colorism.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's just colorism, period.
So when I was in Mexico, I kid you not, I once we left the resort, I was the only black person that I seen. Literally driving through their city, going to go zip lining and all of that stuff. When just looking out the window, just spectating and just soaking in everything, there was no black person that I saw, right
there. I'm like, you know what? I don't know if we gotta go home or.
So, but the point that I'm making is we've from the communities and the environment we come from. Sometimes it's a tension between black and brown. Yeah, and you'd be like, oh, they don't like black people. But I went to Mexico and I'm like, it doesn't even derive from there. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said,
that is actually a prison thing.
Yeah, that's what it boiled down to.
That's a prison thing.
It's a prison thing
for survival. But at the end, it's ignorance. But
but the point that I was making was the information that I received with my own eyes outside the borders of the United States was completely different than what I thought I knew from the information
that's why it's good to go travel and get an education yourself and learn, not just to take in word of mouth. Like you got to go experience these different areas, and sometimes it's like it might be like people might make it seem like it's all good when it's not, and then sometimes people make it seem like it's all bad when it's actually all good. Yeah. So it's like you can't just like let people tell it as far as Africa go, like it's all run down and shit. Yeah. But no, there's actually like beautiful areas.
And that's the thing, man. If you guys are familiar with the city of Rancho Cucamonga, I have a coworker who's from Africa.
Rancho Cucamonga,
from Zimbabwe. Yeah. And he told me, he said they have cities in Africa that resemble Rancho Cucamonga.
I believe it.
He was like, legitly, big, beautiful homes, grocery stores, gas stations. Yeah. Nice cities. Yeah. And he was like, but the only thing that the U.S. will show you is,
the jungles and the rural areas.
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong, there's some jungles in slum areas, but there's also some sophisticated cities.
Yes.
So don't ever place.
And understand too, if you actually do your research, that a lot of things that have contributed to medicine, science, and everything has not come from scientists in the United States. It has come from scientists abroad. You understand what I'm saying? So if unless you open your mind and look, and to go back to the original statement that brought us here, you talking about how you're looking at all governments, right? So the point that I'm making is that as social media grows, it gives a platform to people who are informed to give information to people who would normally be brainwashed, right? Definitely. So when you look at things such as the little interview that you put up with Farrakhan and Alex Jones, and they talked about the shadow government and the dark prince, right? And how these people go to these different countries and they say your country is doing bad, we'll give you $1 billion, but you're in debt to these people, right? The shadow government people.
Meanwhile, America's in debt to China.
You understand what I'm saying? Keep it 100. But then you look at Donald Trump going to India and how they bent over backwards to please this man, right? They even built a wall so that when Donald Trump's motorcade went by, he wasn't able to see the slums. You understand what I'm saying? And during the mix of all of that, you had Muslims who were being beaten in the streets. Their mosques were being burnt down and all of that stuff. And these are things that CNN covered. But not all news outlets covered the truth. And part of the reason why India likes the Indian president likes Donald Trump is because of his anti-Muslim rhetoric. You understand what I'm saying? So the things that you have to look at is that these governments have a stake in, you can give me something. You understand what I'm saying?
There's always a barter system.
It's always
like
a barter system.
It's like usually it's not in favor for the majority.
No.
It's just for their personal whatever agenda. And be on some bullshit. Just like come on, fam. Like,
so it's very especially in today's day and age where information is at your fingertips. It's very important to research things for yourself. So that you can have a bird's eye view of what's going on.
Definitely. That was we got a little deep real fast, but we just trying to give y'all information. As always, we trying to enlighten the people. Feed y'all some information. We going to squeeze in some ignorance. You know me, I'm the ignorant one, but for the most part, our goal is to feed y'all knowledge and information in a digestible way that people that come from where we come from may not look for this information, but they can receive it because like we know how to communicate. And
I'll always tell you, don't take us for face value. Go and research the things that we say.
See for yourself.
Because it's better to grab information and knowledge for yourself than it is to piggyback off of something that we're saying. That's why I tell people all the time, read 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes a day, you become 15 minutes smarter. The information that you give, once you digest it, you can regurgitate it as your own. So don't think that somebody's smarter than you. Just understand that somebody is more aware than you. Somebody is more up on game. Your mind legitly is a USB cord. Right?
What information you putting on there?
You understand what I'm saying? When you buy a USB, and I've said this before, when you buy a USB, that thing is blank. It has no value to you until you start uploading the information that is important to you onto it. So your mind is a USB.
Don't just copy and paste the bullshit from Facebook. No. You gotta go a little deeper than just the headlines.
Exactly.
Now copy and paste. Don't do that. Go on the page and look. Go do the information yourself. Do the research so you can understand in depth and not just surface level.
Exactly.
Because you never know, like your life might depend on it one day.
That part.
So as my man was saying, like download the right information. Download the right information. So since the time we've been going, and this is like the big thing that we was going to cover is the passing of Kobe Bryant. It's so much to unpack with that. I still can't believe it to this day. He's already buried.
It's still not realistic.
To
me.
I'm like, people already had their conversations, their inputs, and all that stuff, and we can go down a list of what we have to say about it. But because I just want to touch on legacy, because that's the main thing that sticks out to me.
Yeah,
is the legacy. But before I get into that, give you a little more information as far as like, where was you at when you heard the news?
I was on my way to a basketball game that I was playing in.
Mm-hmm.
My girl called me, and she was like, "Did you TMZ just said that Kobe Bryant died, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Man, get out of here."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm on the phone with her. I'm like, "Man, TMZ be on that bullshit. They about to make me pull up to the building, talk about Kobe like that."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I told her, like, she was trying to stay on the phone, but it shook my day. So I was like, "Man, I'm gonna holler at you." And I started searching.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Couldn't find it nowhere.
Yeah.
Then the information started flooding in, right? And I was like, damn. But then I knew that he was just the night before in New York City to watch LeBron James surpass his, I believe it was his scoring title, highest scoring in his career. And then it hit me, his daughter was with him.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was concerned about his daughter, right? So I get to the gym, and the hoop community was sober. A lot of people in the gym. We all felt like we couldn't change our day, right?
Yeah.
We had to play in these basketball games, especially because it was the playoffs.
Yeah.
And everybody was sober. It was a young brother in there that was running up and down the court wiping tears from his eyes while he was playing.
Yeah.
And I had about 17 mixed text messages. Because I didn't want to actually believe the reality of what had happened. But I was reading everything on Instagram and Fox News and CNN and all of that stuff. And it was true.
Yeah.
So that's where I was. Playing a game that Kobe Bryant loved.
Spent his whole life.
But he's part of the reason why I love the game as much as I love it, right? Just to dive in a little bit deeper. Basketball was always my first love. And I remember being a kid and watching that draft when Kobe Bryant was drafted, right?
Yeah.
You remember the movie Major League? Where the kid had messed up his arm?
I don't remember everything, but it's been a long...
I don't know if the name of the movie is Major League. It might be another baseball movie, but it was a movie where the kid had messed up his arm, and from the injury that he received, it tightened the band in his shoulder. So he could throw at a high level. Like the speed of the pitch was crazy.
Yeah.
But he was a kid playing in the major leagues.
Yeah.
And I remember when Kobe got drafted, he was like 18.
Yeah.
Kobe was 18. I believe I was like 10 or 11. Right? And I remember being like, no way. It's a kid going to the NBA, just like my mind was blown. So I was like locked in to Kobe. Yeah. But at the same time, I was like, they were comparing him to Jordan, and being a kid that grew up watching not the first three-peat but the second three-peat of Michael Jordan. I thought Michael Jordan was like, he's a basketball guy. There's no way, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I was super intrigued by this dude. Yeah. And the more that I watched him, the more that I fell in love with the game, because I felt like I could relate to this young kid who was balling. You know what I mean? And over the years, you started to see his work ethic. I remember it was a couple seasons where every season he came back with something new in his repertoire. Like my foot, I went and got with this person, got my footwork right. And then I remember he had messed up his hand, and then he was shooting with his left hand, and he hit a turnaround jumper with his left hand. And then it was like, this dude was just, he was on a level that nobody could touch.
Definitely.
And after he retired, and you appreciate people after they're gone from a sport, right? So because all you have is highlights.
Yeah.
So then you start looking at the highlights, and then you start realizing, like, wow, if you're a basketball player or you're somebody who knows basketball, he took that half court and cut it into a grid. And he knew how to dissect you at each grid on that court. And you start realizing that he was a genius at this game.
Yeah.
You understand?
Basketball IQ was through the roof.
It was through the roof. And you start to appreciate him more. And then you see that he wins an Oscar. You see that he just had a drive to be great. He had something that most of us could never really realize in ourselves. You know what I mean? And then he had a daughter. Who was a spitting image of him on a basketball court. And like I told people before, and I say it again, and it's tough to say it, I feel like we lost him twice. If he would have passed and left his daughter, then we could have got behind Gianni. And we could have been like, hey, do it for your pops.
Yeah.
Go to college for your pops. Get buckets for your pops. Go to the WNBA. Change the face of the WNBA and bring that Mamba mentality. But she was with them.
And that's the coach. I'm getting like goosebumps about this shit too right now. Because it hit so hard, because it's like, when you really reflect on his career, like, to be honest, like, his basketball career was amazing.
Yeah.
But I was excited to see what he was going to do post-basketball. Probably more than, like, because I'm like, I get it, because I grew up playing basketball and watching him.
Yeah.
Like, I get what that world is. But what he was going to do post-basketball was going to change the world.
It was.
It wasn't just the basketball. Yeah. This is going to affect the world. Like, he was working on trying to build more inclusion with the WNBA and really back his daughter and set her up to. He was doing stuff for he had his media production company that he was working on. He had I want to say it was a podcast. It was something called a Punies it's more so for kids. It was so much more he was doing, speaking to different crowds and people, and it's like that same obsession he had for the game. He was applying it to something else, and that was really just going to carry him like forever. Because it's like you could just really dissect and break down what he did in the game. And I'm like, when I really think back, like, I wasn't like a diehard Laker fan.
Right.
Low key, I was always the one that was rooting against the Lakers, because I was more so like, I like the underdog. For whatever reason, I always got that thing where I go for the underdog. But I knew that there was this. That was the motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're gonna have a hard day when you go against them. And I was more so of a person that I didn't really choose teams like that. I would root for players. I was a fan of the game. So I pay attention to different things, from the Allen Iversons to the Kobe's to the Tracy McGrady's. To, you know what I'm saying? So like, seeing what he did and how much respect people have for him, like, people knew, like, when you see Kobe on the court, you was about to have a hard day at work that day.
Everybody knew that you had to have had your breakfast, your lunch.
Man, you better eat your Wheaties and get some spinach from Popeye.
And stretch, because you gonna have to deal with that dog on the court.
You know what I'm saying?
All night.
And it's just like, when you just look at the situation, like, because when I seen it, I just knew it was fake news. In my mind, I was like, this is fake news. Hell no. My kids was saying, like, I think it was my sister and my kids, it was like, it was like, what the, like, Kobe Bryant died. And I walk out looking at the TV like, what? I'm like, nah, this ain't, nah. And when everything unraveled, I'm like, whoa.
Because in my mind, I believe that he was going to become an old hooper. almost like a Jedi master.
Yeah,
teaching the youngins.
And it's just like he died at 41, so it's just like in your mind you thinking like, and it wasn't like he was murdered.
No,
it wasn't like he was killed. Like no cards. Like it's just like damn. Like what? Like this. Like
and then when you hear the reason for why he took helicopters everywhere, it makes the situation just more like wow. Because he said he did it for his kids.
Yeah, he wanted to save time.
LA traffic was so bad he wanted to save time, and he said what happened was he ended up missing one of his daughter's plays, and he said it was never going to happen again. So he found the convenience in taking a helicopter, and you know.
And he's been doing that for years.
Yeah,
there's been something, but yeah, that's a whole little daunting little. But to get into like the reflection of it all, because it's hard to really talk about it and understand it still. But what I gather from it is that it's a couple things. Number one, you really never know when it's your time to go. Every day we go to bed at night and we think to ourselves that we're gonna get up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow ain't promised.
Yeah, there's people who went to sleep and never woke up.
Never woke up. Two, cherish the moments that you have, like the big and the small ones. Yeah. Cherish the people around you, because like they can be gone like in an instant.
Yeah. And
you're not getting that back.
Yeah. And create a bucket list. Document it, or take pictures, videotape these things, because the truth of the matter is, people want to know about you once you're gone. Your loved ones want to have things that they can look at and memories that they could see when you had a good time. Yeah. Right? And this world is beautiful. These cities are beautiful. The history in these cities are different from the cities that you grew up in. Take your time to actually get to see them. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Don't live your whole life just knowing the neighborhood that you came from,
stuck on the block,
or the city that you came from. Man, get out there, and it's inexpensive to travel if you really look into it. You know what I mean? There's power in saving. You know what I mean? If you don't make money where you could just at a drop of a hat just go there, you can save money for 3-4 months or whatever, and then get out and enjoy the world. You know, so. Create memories, because if you look at Kobe Bryant, he created 1 million memories for us. It's still new footage coming out of him, still new footage coming out of him and his family. So he was documenting things, so that his kids are going to be able to know him. Yeah. His family is going to be able to remember him. And
his little baby didn't really get the chance to get that. Yeah. So it's only so much that she's going to remember. Yeah. So it's like, in the end, like you said, document. That's the one good thing you can say about social media. Yeah. Like when you post stuff on there, like people can look back and whatnot, and really just get that memory of who you were. Yeah. And the third thing that, as far as lessons, is the legacy. And it made me think of how do you want to be remembered when you're gone? Like, what is the narrative that people will speak when you're no longer here in the physical? Yeah. You know? So it's like, Kobe, he literally lived even though he died at a young age,
he accomplished a lot.
He accomplished and he lived a full life in a short amount of time. Yeah. Of course, he could have done more. Yeah. And so don't get me wrong when I say full life, but what he's done, he grew up wanted to make it to the NBA. Yeah. He achieved his ultimate dream. Yeah. And then he moved on and created a new goal, and he created his family and all. He was a good dad. These are things that he wanted to do for himself. Yeah. And it's you can't be mad at the legacy that he left.
No, he left a strong legacy. He left a strong legacy. This man touched the whole entire world when he passed.
Yeah. The world stopped.
The world stopped.
It stopped.
So you gotta say, normal people, you may not touch the world, right? But how can you touch the people that was around you? Yeah. How can you impact the people that's around you? You know what I'm saying? Your life is not your own. Everything that you go through is to be able to help somebody else. So Legacy. I mean, I feel like Kobe's legacy is a great one.
Definitely.
I feel like it's complicated. And complicated not because of anything negative. Complicated because he didn't leave an exact blueprint of what the Mamba mentality is. He left action. And sometimes it's hard to apply that action to your reality.
Yeah.
But if I could give you my thoughts on Mamba mentality, right? It is based on the foundation of discipline.
Definitely.
Doing the things that you need to do. Not necessarily doing the things that you want to do. Doing the things that you need to do to be great.
Yeah.
So if that means finding more time in a day. So before Kobe Bryant passed, the mentality was, you gotta grind 24/7, right? But Kobe used to get up so early in the day that you find a way to maximize 24 hours. Yeah. So it's almost like 24/8.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's not 24/7, it's 24/8. It's about you finding time to discipline yourself to do the things that you need to do to be great.
Yeah.
If you think about the 10,000 hour rule, anything that you do for 10,000 hours, you become a professional at. Put that time in, no matter what it is, whatever your passion is. Do the things that you know you need to do, not the things that you want to do. If that makes sense.
To add on that, as far as the Mamba mentality, discipline is a strong factor in it. Yeah. But Kobe had this certain obsession. Yeah. Like, he had a strong obsession with the game and trying to be the best version of him. Not the best version of anybody else. The best version. Yes, he looked up to Jordan, but he knew that he had to be who he is and who he was designed to be. He's not physically built the same way as Jordan, like different characteristics, whatever. Yeah. But he had a certain obsession. So that obsession is going to allow you to tap in, like you said, like, to do what's necessary, not what you want to. Like, he's before the game start, he's practicing. Yeah. Before the game, I mean, when the game is over, if he didn't perform the way he wanted to,
get out there, shoot free throws, hit the free throws.
Yeah, he was like, my free throws was trash. I'm about to sit up and do 100,000, whatever. Yeah. I'm about to go through these. Like, I'm not gonna let that happen again. Yeah. And it's like that obsession will allow you just to go into a tunnel vision where you tap into that higher version, that higher level of yourself. And it's just, once you really understand that and really get a grasp on it, to tap into that higher version of yourself, like, you can really get a lot done and live inside of that Mamba mentality and be, perform at a great level as he did. Yeah. So discipline, self-discipline, and obsession. You need these two things to be great at whatever you want to do. Yeah. So it's like, as far as legacy, it's so much like, and it's not even just talking about Kobe. It's just like really dive into like the person who you want to hold up, time out. Oh yeah, technical difficulty. But as far as legacy, like, you really have to think about what you want people to say about you when you're no longer here. What you want your kids to remember. How will your family speak on you. Like, seeing Vanessa speak on during the memorial. Yeah. Like, there was nothing wrong she could say. I'm pretty sure. Like, he had some short, like, like, he didn't. Yeah. He had his issues, as anyone does, but as far as how can I say this? The majority of the good outweigh the bad. Yeah. That's what you want. You want your good to outweigh the bad, so people can speak about you in a positive light. Because, like, breaking up, did you see the memorial? Yeah. That was like, number one, they did a great job. Yeah. First and foremost. Just off the rip, like with Beyonce starting off, I was like, I don't know. Luckily, I was kind of busy while I was watching it. If I was sitting down tuning it, I probably would have shed some tears. I ain't gonna lie to you. I probably would have lied.
I made myself busy on purpose while it was on, just to catch bits and pieces here and there, just because I was like, not today. Yeah. I'm not about to. I had the emotional roller coaster up and down, with this situation, especially being a ball player. If you know how many like Kobe Bryant pairs of shoes that I put in retirement, and if y'all know me, y'all know I'm not like quite a sneakerhead because I don't just buy any and everything.
Yeah.
But I buy the type of shoe. I buy the shoes that I like.
Yeah.
And Kobe has a lot of pairs of shoes that had came out that I was fond of. And I was in my closet and I was like, all of this gotta go on ice. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, all of these, because you don't want to have to one day get rid of them.
Yeah.
You want to be able to hold on, to that just for the sentimental.
There's two things
value
to that, because it's like, number one, holding on to it for sentimental value. Number two, that's going to have some appreciation down the line as far as value.
Yeah.
If you did decide to sell any of them, that price is going to go up.
Yeah, I looked. My cousin was sending me stuff from a lot of the little sneaker spots that I buy shoes from, and the prices was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I have some Crazy 8s, and they were going for like $1,400.
Yeah, that price gonna go up, and like as far as the sneakerhead community go, like people's about to.
Yeah, people are vultures.
Won't be flipping.
People are vultures too, man. Sometimes there's people who just give no damns about the person. They just give a damn about what they can make off of it, because I think a lot of his apparel that he had signed, the things that he had done that people had, they were putting them on eBay.
Yeah.
Trying to get stupid money for it.
Yeah.
That shit ain't cool.
Yeah.
At all.
I wouldn't do it, but I understand it. Because I understand the sneaker community.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's weird because I wouldn't do it, but I wouldn't condemn somebody because I know.
Listen, we live in a capitalist
and that's the thing, because the thing, like, the sneaker community is just a weird type of thing,
weird
period.
It is.
So that's why I think I understand it. I'm like,
it is very weird, because you'll find shoes that you're like, the hell are those?
Yeah.
Going for like $35,000. Well, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, the hell is that? But
like, nah.
They're different, and that's the only reason why I don't consider myself a sneakerhead.
Yeah,
because I truly just buy the stuff that I like, not what's popular at the time. You know what I mean? Because they putting some BS out right now, and people are spending.
Just because of the name. And the brand.
But
nah, I'm cool.
I appreciate Kobe.
What do you have to say towards legacy and as far as like goals and
I feel like everyone has a legacy, right? We get caught up in somebody else's legacy being famous, right? So we don't think that we have a legacy. We think that our life is wasted, or we feel like we're just placeholders to pay attention to somebody else's legacy. But you have a legacy of your own, right? So some of us have kids, some of us have family, some of us have friends. At this moment, I don't have kids, right? But I have a basketball team that I've have control over for 10 years, right? And I have not always been perfect with how I interact with my players and the guys that have played with me. But any and everybody who knows who has played with me, they know that everyone who I play with, I consider a leader.
Yeah.
And I hold you to that standard. Because what some people don't understand is that the personality that you play with on a basketball court is the personality that you have in your real life. So your shortcomings on the basketball court are your shortcomings in real life.
Yeah.
So I feel like at this point, my legacy, honestly, is to help continue develop men. When we're younger, we play sports to become disciplined and to become better people in society, right? And I feel like at the adult level, that doesn't change. Because there's adversity no matter what level of basketball that you play on. You know what I mean? There's adversity that comes, and how you address that adversity speaks to your character.
Definitely.
And I feel like at this point, as a leader, I could say that my legacy is that I help build other leaders.
Definitely. That's always that should always be the goal, especially when you're in certain roles.
Yeah.
When you said something, and it reminded me, it sparked something.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times we forget about our own legacy.
Yeah.
The thing is, a lot of times we'll sit up here and watch a celebrity like a Kobe Bryant, somebody that's famous, somebody professional, and we get so captivated about what they're doing.
Yeah.
And we forget about what the fuck we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And so it's just like we're just stuck on the sideline just watching, like we rooting for them, but it's like that's cool, like cheer for them.
Yeah.
But you gotta be your own biggest cheerleader as well.
Yeah.
You gotta be your own biggest fan. You gotta be amping yourself up and applying that same pressure that they doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do you do? Like,
I'll put it to you like this. This podcast, this is our legacy.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
We may touch millions of people one day. We may touch 15 people, right? But you never know down the line. We upload this to YouTube, Spotify, all that stuff. You might have a grandkid that has the type of passion that you have.
Yeah.
Right? And he finds out that, oh shoot, G-Pop's got like videos up and these podcasts, these recordings. And these recordings might spark something in that person to change the world. You know what I'm saying? You never know what the insignificant things that you do. You might think like, oh, okay, well, Kobe's gonna be infectious to kids forever. And you never know that the impact that you're making might be the impact to somebody in your family. And for all you know, it could be a genius that doesn't know they're a genius just to stumble upon this. Yeah. And it might be something that you say that changed their world. So you guys have to understand that your impact to this world is significant. My grandfather, rest in peace, is the reason why my work ethic is the way that it is. Right? People to tell you, they don't know how I do it. Because I have broken my days down into hours. Yeah. Right? I don't sleep much because even my sleep is broken down into hours. I always have an alarm going off because if I sleep too long, I end up having to rush something that I have to do. Right? And I like being comfortable and relaxed when working. But I can still tell you to this day that my grandfather is the hardest person that I ever seen work. I remember, I have the greatest memory. I'm thankful for my memory because there were small things in my memory that I seen that as an adult now I learned a lesson from. Yeah. Right? So when I talk about breaking your days down into hours, it's because I remember being maybe I was 5 or 6, and we had one of those the old school doors that the houses had in LA with the little flap that you remember how you knock with it, the little metal thing. Instead of knocking on the door, you tap the little metal thing, right? So my grandmother's door had that, and I remember one night I was laying in bed, and I heard the door chime, ding, and I got up like, what was that? And I looked, and as I looked, all I could see coming through the front door was 2 arms. And my grandfather was bringing grocery bags into the house, right? It's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. He's bringing grocery bags into the house. And I'm sitting there and I go to him and I said, can I help you? He was like, oh, boo, it's too cold outside. You can't go outside. But you could take the groceries from the front door into the kitchen. Yeah. Right? You have to understand that time and period in my life living in LA, it was a house. It was 3 men in the house. It was my grandfather, myself, and my uncle. Me and my uncle. My uncle's 7 years older than me. So at that time, if I'm 5 or 6, my uncle's like 9 to 10 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And the rest of the house was women. My grandfather had to take all of these people to school in the morning. Pick them all up from school in the afternoon. Take my grandmother to work in the morning. Pick her up in the afternoon. Go to work himself. Do work around the house. Right? So when was the best time for him to be able to put food on the table? Yeah. This man broke his days down into hours and never missed a beat.
That's what you gotta do. Sometimes you gotta pace yourself.
That was his legacy,
and
it's impacted me.
It reminds me because it was a conversation I was having with someone, an older gentleman, and I was talking to him, and he was mentioning how like kids today don't know such and such about work or blah blah blah, and I was like, and I was telling him like I understand like I understand the disconnect because I'm 32, like I'm like caught in the middle of the newer generation and the old generation. Yeah. The older generation is from a blue collar lifestyle. Yeah. They work, they go to work and put in the hours and come home. Yeah. The newer generation, they want to be entrepreneurs, they want to be YouTubers, influencers, and get it to eat. Like, I won't even say it's necessarily easy because there's work in that type of stuff. Yeah. It's just a different form. Yeah. So a lot of times, like, the older generation don't understand the younger, and the younger don't understand what the older's talking about. Yeah. Us being in the middle, we were able to see the blue collar, like, go to work and grind and do what they have to do. And we're still young enough to understand the advancement of technology and the things that it can put, the entrepreneur. A value that can add to someone's life. Yeah. So, like, you gotta find that healthy balance. Like, you watching your grandfather come and bring groceries and take everyone to school and take them to work, going to work, come home, you know, and then being young enough to see the boom of MySpace and YouTube, and you know, it's like, and we understand it because we're close to that age. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta understand both sides of the coin to really maximize the return of the opportunities that's out there. So yeah, it's a lot we can talk about on that.
Yeah. You have a legacy.
When you have a legacy, don't get so caught up in somebody else, like watching them, thinking like damn, like think it's so far beyond like reach that you can't, like, you can achieve it. It's the only look. If you never believe that you can, you will never be able to do it. Yeah. It first starts there. Yeah. You have to first believe. Mm-hmm. You can't do something that you can't believe. You don't believe that you're capable of, because you're gonna hold yourself to that level and that standard. Yeah. Like, the worst thing you can do, as Les Brown says, it's not that people aim too high and miss, they aim too low and hit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't be foolish. Understand?
And mediocre thinking can be handed down.
Definitely.
So some of you guys may need to break that generational curse of mediocre thinking. I know that I personally broke the curse of mediocre thinking in my family. You know what I mean? It's a real thing. Because sometimes as black people, we can't help that we grew up in a family where getting by is the thing that we handed down. As long as you got a job, as long as you got a roof over your head, instead of telling people that they can be more and they can have more. So, like he said, aiming too low and hitting, that's mediocre thinking. Sometimes you gotta, like, listen, if you know me and you know this man, you know that school was not our thing.
No,
you understand what I'm saying? My thing. And school is still not my thing, but I've disciplined myself to do it, right? Yeah. I haven't had below a 3.2 since I've been back in school. That's not me. Yeah. That's me understanding what the totality of what I'm doing and the importance for me for what I'm doing and the opportunity that these things can create for me. Right? So I changed my mediocre thinking to being like, let me just get through it. To let me be the best at it that I possibly can. And that's how you have to look at life. You have to look at life and say, how can I be the best at life and produce something that I never thought I could see before. It's a beautiful thing to be able to accomplish things that you have never seen before. I never thought I would walk across a college stage receiving a degree. Never thought I'd see myself doing that. I saw myself do that, right? I never thought that I would have a bachelor's degree. I got a bachelor's degree. I never in a million years even thought about a master's degree. You know what I'm saying? I'm freaking 9 to 10 months away from finishing my master's degree.
Grinding.
And
the thing is too, this was something that came to mind the other day. This might I might rant on about this, but I was really thinking, because I'm like, as he's taking the educational route, I'm more so of the trial and error, entrepreneurial type of person. I get the education just differently.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I remember just thinking to myself, like, I'm like, damn, this shit gets, like, something was going on. And I was like, this shit gets hard sometimes, blah, blah, blah. And then it's just like, that short little second of wanting to quit, like, seeped in. And oftentimes, a lot of people, they feel like, even when, I'm pretty sure with school, you probably thought like, man, I don't feel like doing this shit, like
every day.
You know what I'm saying? But
every day.
Like that little door, like spark of wanting to quit, like, have popped out. And I sat down and thinking, I was like, yo, like, there was people that really fought for this to be a thing.
Yeah.
As far as black people go.
Yeah.
Like, there was people that really fought and died for this.
Yeah.
Like, whatever someone like was trying to escape, your great ancestors was trying to escape slavery, or they was dealing with whatever was going on with that, and then they thinking like, man, I don't feel like doing, like, I just want to, whatever it is, quit. They had to keep in their mind that it's not about for me today, it's about the future.
Well, I put it to you like this. If you guys don't know this person, go look up this person. Her story is captivating if you understand the time zone in which she did it. Madam C.J. Walker. If you see the business that she created and the legacy that she left during a time where black people weren't actually business owners, where black people, weren't able to really mass produce items themselves and sell them internationally. This woman did that. And do you think that she didn't run up against opposition because of the climate of the world that was her reality back then? You understand what I'm saying? It's different when we read about how crazy it was.
Yeah.
Compared to actually putting your foot in her shoes and imagining.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times she wanted to quit?
Yeah.
How many times she was like, these people might kill me if I make too much money, or if I become too successful. When you think about Black Wall Street, when you think about all of the cities, the one city down in Charleston where these were black communities that were thriving and successful, and they found ways to kill and destroy those dreams. You have to understand, man, how can you be tired?
And that's exactly where I was going. I was really sitting there, I'm like, you don't have the right to complain. Like, you better not dare complain. Like, I understand sometimes, like, it gets so frustrating and annoying, like, whatever you're trying to create from the ground up. But understand, not even just a black thing, your family might have came from a different country, trying to escape from whatever bad environment was back in your original country. They sacrifice so much so that you can have the opportunity, and you think you want to just quit and give up. Like, you don't even deserve the right to even think that. Like, that shouldn't even be in your mind. So it's just like, you gotta understand, you have to tap into the extra, that obsession, that Mamba mentality that inside, to really see it through. Because it's like, there's a lot of people that go, as far as professional athletes, so many of the athletes saying like their home is like, they come from bad situations, and like, this is the only way they was going to change their family circumstances. I have to go pro and change my family circumstances. If I don't do it, then it's like, we fucked forever.
You have to get to the point where the fear of not finishing is greater than the comfort of
mediocrity. Like,
you understand what I'm saying? Because that's the point that I made it to. You understand what I'm saying? I made it to that point, and I'm thankful for it. I made it to that point where everything that I put my heart to, it's a fear of being like, it's not accomplished. I have to accomplish it. I have to finish it. I have to see it through. Mediocrity.
That's the enemy.
It's something that some people don't know that they operate in. So
I remember, I'm pretty sure you remember some years back, I had this brand called HATE. It was an acronym for having ambition to elevate. It was basically turning a negative into a positive. You gotta have a disgust for mediocrity. Like to be one of the greats and to be like somebody that's phenomenal, that's bigger than life, like a Michael Jordan, a Kobe, a Michael Jackson, like whoever. Like you have to like mediocrity should just be like hell no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like go watch. I want y'all to go watch some videos on this man named David Goggins. That dude is a beast, and you'll understand a lot more what I'm talking about. So go check that. That's your homework. So leave a comment. Let me know what y'all think in the comments too about what y'all think about it. Former Navy SEAL, a whole lot of different marathons and triathlons. Like he that dude was crazy. Yeah. But that's my mentor right there. Yeah. But I know we're getting pressed for time, and I'm just looking at the time on the camera. So I'm like, yo, I think we said enough right here.
We can leave it right here. Yeah, we can leave it right here. I feel like we divulged a lot of information in this one. So I challenge you guys to do something that scares you. Mm-hmm. Right? Challenge yourself. Mm-hmm.
Every day. Do one thing. A lot of times people aren't comfortable talking to strangers. Yeah. Talk to a stranger. Yeah. Like it don't have to be nothing crazy. Go a little bit up on the weights. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like do something that's challenging. Yeah. Get out the comfort zone.
I remember I had a homeboy tell me, he's like, man, I'm trying to get like you, bro. He's like, how do I what do I do, right? And me being the person that I am, he was referring to my relationship, my successful school, my understanding for financial literacy, and all of these things, right? Mm-hmm. And I told him the number one thing that I learned was sacrifice. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to sacrifice something to accomplish the goals that you want. And for me, I tell everybody, for me, my sacrifice has always been sleep. Mm-hmm. My time is precious. Mm-hmm. For somebody else, it might be social, going out and doing something. Me, it's time. And you have to, and the crazy thing about it is, for me, when I say time, I'm talking about, your sleep, your freedom to do anything that you want to do. But for you, that might be something else. Mm-hmm. So just find out what your sacrifice is. And I guarantee you, once you find your sacrifice, you're going to find a lot of progression and productivity in your life.
Definitely. That's like you said, like that's actually like there's no way to gain without sacrificing. Right. Like it's just not possible. You might have to sacrifice time. You might have to sacrifice sleep. You might have to sacrifice money. Yeah. You might have to sacrifice going out. You might have to sacrifice your favorite foods. Like it varies on what you have to give up depending on what the goal is. I believe it was Tom Bilyeu. He had said something in a video I was watching. He said you kind of like you gotta look at it from a different perspective as from what's the least I can do to gain success to what's the most I can bear to gain success. Mm-hmm. Like that perspective right there is key. Like don't try to sit there trying to find a loophole and find a shortcut. Put it all on the table. Yeah. Leave it all on the table. Put it like, and then see what rewards you reap from that. Yeah. And people don't understand that because everybody want the loophole. They want the straight to the point. And it's like there's no straight to the point.
I tell people all the time, man. This is a little analogy that I use all the time. If I gave you $1 million and you lost it, could you make it back? Right? The answer is no. Why? Because there's no lesson in a handout. Mm-hmm. You got to find those steps. A person that took the proper steps to make $1 million,
they know how to do it.
They know how to make $1 million again.
Because the thing is, the information. That's the goal right there. The information that they have going through the process of getting there.
Yeah.
The connections.
Yeah.
The network that they develop. That's the goal, not the money.
Yeah.
You lose that, and they're able to get it back.
Yeah.
Versus a broke person coming up and then losing it.
Don't know nothing.
They just back broke.
And don't know nothing about how to do it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important not to skip steps.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's important not to be mediocre. Because mediocrity means you don't have to work that hard.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
You get what you work.
You get
what you put in.
You get what you put in, because the truth of the matter is mediocre in a grading type of sense is a C.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that means you didn't put forth that much effort.
Mm-hmm.
But a C compared to a A
mm-hmm.
is effort.
Mm-hmm.
And that effort is draining.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, you gain more
mm-hmm.
from the effort that you put in. It's just like working out. If I go on the treadmill for 5 minutes, I'm not going to tickle any type of calorie burn.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if I start getting up to the 15, 20, 30
mm-hmm.
minute mark, you're going to start to burn something.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's the effort that you put into your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you're going to start to reap and see different type of things start to happen for yourself. So,
real talk. A lot of information shared here. A lot of Kobe talk.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Kobe.
Got it tatted on me, man.
Oh, you want to got
24/8.
Okay.
My guy.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Kobe, R.I.P. to Gianna.
Yeah.
Prayers to the family, Vanessa and the kids,
yeah.
and Kobe's parents, and everyone else related to him, and all the friends that was close to him.
All his old teammates that loved him.
Yeah, there was a lot of people that was emotional about it.
Yeah.
So just want to send our thoughts and condolences. I hope y'all really received what we had to say today. I hope that you process it. Let us know what you think was the best thing that you heard in this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Spread the word. We ain't done yet. We might took that little break, but we still ain't done. We still got more in the tank.
We back at it.
So pray for us as we're on our own personal journeys. He's going to school. I'm in an entrepreneurial type of field.
Yeah.
We just trying to make it happen and be that light for the people out there. Period. Yeah. So.
And I put it to. I'll leave this with you guys. You might feel hopeless
mm-hmm.
when you pay attention to what's going on in society.
Mm-hmm.
Understand that your strength, your faith, is not based on what you see.
Mm-hmm.
We may see people who look like they are morally corrupt at this moment. We may see loopholes in laws that make us feel like, wrong is becoming right and right is becoming wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The only way those things don't change is if you keep your integrity.
Mm-hmm.
People with no integrity, usually they're going to self-destruct.
Mm-hmm.
Keep your integrity. Don't lose faith in people. Don't lose faith in your society, because the society is based off of the people.
Mm-hmm.
So if our moral compass stays strong, our country will stay strong.
Yeah, I'm gonna add in honor too. Have an honor code.
Yeah.
I don't ever really too much hear about integrity and honor.
Yeah.
Like these are words that just don't come up because people ain't practicing honor and integrity like that.
Yeah.
So those are some words to really consider and take to heart. But yeah, we about to get up out of here. We shall catch y'all soon again. And this was another episode of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
Bang, 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 bang.
Until the next time, salute, like, subscribe, share.
Yes, sir.